name is Elif and I welcome you to Evolve with me. I want to unpack a comment that one of my followers made on the Twinflame video that I posted yesterday. I think it's a nice opportunity to just help you. We are a collective, so where one person finds him or herself is often where we as a collective find ourselves. And I think she's offered a nice opportunity for us to have a moment of learning and understanding how this twin flame awakening serves us, especially through the contrast. And I'm not saying that that things need to be difficult for us to grow and evolve, but very often we are in such a place of self-imposed bondage. We place such limitation on ourselves. We have such solid beliefs and constructs or self-concepts in a particular place that does not serve us, that our path of least resistance is a bit of contrast to help us to come to clarity. Your twin flame connection is always going to redirect you to what matters most, which is you and your relationship with yourself. So I'm going to read her comment. I mean, the comment is public on the channel, so it's not like I'm sharing anything confidential. And then I'm going to dive into it a little bit by sort of answering questions. So she said, you nailed it when you said huge change occurred. Huge change is sometimes where in our dynamic we go from feeling very, very connected and then suddenly finding ourselves in a place where this person just changes up on us, feeling like they're coming towards us, they're appreciating what we're offering, and it seems like we are finally coming into union, 3D union, and our perception of union in the 3D is based on what we hold active in the 5D. So if we see ourselves as separated because our twin flame is not in our 3D reality, wanting to share their lives with us, being in a relationship with us, being connected to us, if we see that as separation, then it cannot change, because it is a spiritual connection which is active in the other dimensions as well, and there is no physical body there. There is no holding hands. There is no picking up the phone and telling one another our stories. It is all energetic. It is all sort of telepathic. It just is. It's not something we're trying to make happen. It just is. Okay, so a huge change has occurred. You nailed it when you said a huge change occurred. He told me of his feelings for someone else. How she checks all of his boxes and he hasn't felt this way for anyone since his 20s. Now I can imagine how that can feel like a huge betrayal and also a deep rejection. Like, yeah, I have been fully available, working on this, trying to create and to build a relationship around the connection that we have that is worth you investing in me. And after doing this back and forth for years, trying to come into harmony and union with you in the 3D, you tell me, you drop this bombshell on me that you met someone probably just yesterday, and suddenly this person checks all of your boxes and you haven't felt this way since you were 20. So now what? Well, think about this. I said in previous videos, it is important to understand that it's an energetic connection. But in essence, your twin flame connection is not a connection. It is you one soul. You just are. All right. There's no cord between you connecting you. You are one. You are one soul. So you have this person that has manifested as your perfect mirror, as your as aspect of your soul self, manifested in your 3D experience to help you to be activated so that you can go through your awakening of unconditional love. Not for this person outside of you, but for self, because it is my soul. You are representative of my soul. And the things that I struggle with accepting in you, with respecting on your journey, the things that I take personally, the things that I see as a slight, the things that I see as rejection, which can never exist between us, because this is not about two bodies coming together and making one another feel whole, validated, and accepted. This is about me, you showing me how I separate from myself in order to find harmony with what I perceive to be a person outside of myself. How you constantly show me my self-betrayal. So when you say to me, as my twin flame, as my divine counterpart, I've met this person, I haven't felt this way since I was 20, he or she checks all my boxes. What is it that you're telling me, divine masculine? You are telling me, and you are reminding me how I have been looking for and searching for this person that's going to check boxes, and I have these boxes in place because in my mind this is going to be the ideal relationship for me. If I'm searching for safety, if I'm reaching for acceptance, if I'm reaching for a sense of validation, if I'm reaching for security, confidence, perhaps I'm reaching for a feeling of success. These are the boxes that someone has to tick to provide me with the opportunity to feel that way. So I have these boxes that I'm looking for in a person, which I feel is missing in me outside of myself. Then what are you telling me, divine masculine, by telling me that that's what you have been doing, and now you found this person and you haven't felt this way since you were 20? You are telling me, because you're my mirror, that I have been actively trying to guide you towards being the person that ticks these boxes for me, so that I can feel a sense of validation, worth. I am enough, I am loved, I can be secure with you, this person outside of me, because it is not something that I have within myself. Now, as a twin flame, and wait, before I carry on, I haven't felt this way since I was 20. That is letting me know that you are feeling completely open, hopeful. You're hoping that you have more of a belief that there's an opportunity, that you have found what you have always felt is missing. You're not jaded, and you are feeling open to letting in everything that you've always wanted, despite the experiences you've had. Okay, so it's an unjaded sort of feeling. It's not I'm not in that place of feeling jaded by life and experience. I feel like this could be a clean slate. I feel uninhibited, I feel open, I feel vulnerable, and it feels good and exciting, because that's how you feel in your 20s. So what is it that you are telling me, divine masculine, my perfect mirror? You are letting me know that something has changed, that I am in a place where I am feeling more open, more vulnerable, more willing to believe that I can have and that I deserve the things that I want, but that I finally found someone who can give me that. So what you're telling me is that I, as a divine feminine, have been reaching for these things, these behaviors, and this person that will tick my boxes so that I can feel like I am safe enough and like I can finally have what I deserve and what I feel is missing outside of myself, which is you. So I've been chasing you. I've still been sending my energy out. I've still been reaching for what it is that I feel that I need and I'm missing outside of myself through you, trying to establish that with you, and not creating it in the relationship with myself, not making it known and present within me. Still trying to establish that within you, to be able to feel safe, to be able to feel unguarded, to be able to feel open and vulnerable, to believe in love again. Okay, and that is why I am where I find myself now. Because remember, it is energy. Your twin flame, the divine masculine and feminine, are two sides of the same battery. If you send energy his way to reach for, to try and establish, to try and create in the relationship with him or her, what it is that you feel is missing, what it is that you feel you need to find in order to feel safe, secure, loved, and validated, in order to believe that you can actually have this happiness and the security and the love and the validation and everything that it is you want forevermore, you've been trying to establish that, assert that, create that in the relationship with him. No wonder he has gone off and find it outside of himself. You see, you are one. If you're trying to find it outside of yourself with this person that you experience outside of you, and not here where he always is in your soul self, in your relationship with yourself, then it is natural for him or her to go and look for it outside of you as well. Because you're looking for it outside of you. You do not realize how powerful you are. Okay? And so he's offered you something that is more valuable than a let's spend our lives together and I promise you I'm always going to be everything you want. Because he can't. Your divine masculine cannot be anything other than what you are in relation to yourself. And if you are not making your relationship with yourself and your happiness a priority, if you wake up and look for evidence that he cares about you, that you are the one, you step outside of the relationship with yourself to find that connection with someone else. So let me say it in a different way. If when you open up your eyes in the morning and you check your phone to see if you've received a good morning message and an I love you and I appreciate you, to quiet the question inside of yourself, am I still loved today? Instead, if you're checking from someone outside of you, which is your divine counterpart or anybody else, to see that I am still loved, I am still important today. Before, if that's your priority, and not wake up in the morning and where am I with me? How is it that I feel? I'm here again. My heart's beating. If nobody shows up in my life today, I'm still going to have a great day because I'm here with me. Me feeling loved and me feeling appreciated has nothing to do with somebody's willingness to show up in my experience or to call me and to say, I really appreciate it, I love you. Me knowing that I am appreciated and loved is because I know the value that I've added to this person's experience and everybody's experience. And of course he loves me, and of course she loves me, and of course everybody that I know loves and appreciates me. But whether they are tuned into that right now, or whether their mind is somewhere else, or whether they are wrestling with something within themselves is irrelevant. I know that there is value here between me and me. And if I feel like I'm feeling a little bit lonely, I'm watching a movie and I'm not really enjoying it because I wish I had company, I'm feeling lonely. If my go-to is, why hasn't he reached out? When was the last time he asked to do something with me? Why doesn't he want to do something with me? Why does my friends not want to do something with me? That is my go-to. And my go-to is not, I'm communicating with me that I'm feeling lonely. Why am I feeling lonely? Because I'm looking at my experience and I'm looking at it as lack. I'm seeing myself sitting here watching this movie by myself, and I feel that not having company and somebody else's priority not being here with me to be able to enjoy this movie with me as lack. As opposed to, I am so privileged that I've created this beautiful life where I have this time to be able to sit in the space that I enjoy so much. To have this time to enjoy this movie. To have this time to see that where I see lack, maybe I'm seeing sadness in the movie, that I am in this privileged place that I can see the value, that there's nothing sad about my life, that I have created a beautiful life, and the fact that I'm healthy and that I'm good and that I am mentally sound, that I have access to well-being and that I'm constantly showing up for myself shows how rich I am. Instead of doing that, I'm looking at, well, why does this my counterpart not want to be here? Why is my counterpart not, when was the last time? That's why I perpetuate the loneliness. So I'm trying to calm the voice that's saying to me, Elif, you haven't connected with me. You haven't connected to the value that I am, to the value that we are. You're responding to that voice by saying, oh, well, where's this person that's supposed to love me? So you're sending energy out to them that is supposed to be here. And that is chasing energy. And what do? They respond to that energy in the 3D by chasing outside of themselves too. Because immediately it registers, because how they experience that is when they feel loneliness, it must be because I'm in the wrong connection. Because I'm supposed to feel more connected and appreciated by my divine masculine. You see, they directly experience what you do here between you and you. And so they directly associate feelings of loneliness and disconnect and lack of appreciation with you. Because you've associated feelings of loneliness with your divine, with somebody outside of you, as opposed to listening to what the voice here is saying and showing up for it and calming it and tuning into the value of your experience and allowing your relationship with yourself to be enough. So what you have been trying to establish in relation to your divine counterpart, they have established and manifested with someone outside of themselves. Because you've tried to manifest it with someone outside of you. So you see, your perception and how you respond to where you are is very, very important. If you immediately respond to your yearning for connection by connecting to self, connecting to what you've created, connecting to the value you have right here, and not making about your divine counterpart or anybody else, getting to that place right now in the moment of feeling connected to all of life and knowing that you are enough. And if your divine counterpart never shows up in any particular way again, it doesn't matter, you will always appreciate them. They will come running. I'm not saying that this is something that you should want, because it is a very challenging connection. Every time that you step out on yourself, and we do that a couple of times a day, if you're not in a constant practice, and this is what I teach in my coaching, if you don't have the tools and a constant state of practicing, starting your day with the process that clicks you into alignment, and rechecking and rechecking in and reconnecting and reconnecting, then you are like a vacuum that is vacuuming all the houses in the neighborhood and it's never plugged in. It's not going to make a difference. You see? And if you drop the ball on yourself, immediately your divine counterpart's going to start running. And so it's always going to feel like work. So I'm not saying that you should want to make an effort to come into 3D union with them. In fact, I'm saying set yourself free from that expectation. Reach for the highest form of love for your divine counterpart and set them free. And whatever comes from that is going to be what's best for you. Because the energy is very, very sensitive between twin flames. Every time if your inner voice says, I would like to have more fun, and your immediate go-to is, how can I create fun for my divine counterpart and I to have? They'll go and look for fun with someone else. It's got to be about you. They are just along for the ride. You cannot force it. And it's so, so delicate, the energy. Okay. So, and then she says, so now what? Everything I thought, poof. And that lets me know you had a very conditional idea of how this is supposed to go. It's got to look like this. Everything that matters between you and your divine counterpart does not go poof because they decide that they are not going to drive on this particular road with you. They're going to take another road. And there are other people on that road that they can experience themselves through. The moment your The value of your connection is based on the conditions of whether or not they're focusing on you or somebody else, or they're focusing on what makes you happy or on their own happiness. It's conditional. You've got to rise above that. You've got to get to a place like we are with the people that we hold most dear. I have a sister who I love and adore. She got married. She lives in America. I don't see her. I never feel like our sisterhood is pointless. Well, we're not sisters because she's not near me and I don't see her every day, and her world doesn't revolve around me. When it's her birthday or when she does things, it's not planned with me, so we're not sisters anymore. Do you see how conditional that is? This is a deeper connection than that. And I know that the ego hurts when it comes to this, but you've got to get clear about these things, because you can't keep allowing your ego to dictate the value in your life. And the value, as long as the value is dependent on the conditions, you are in a place of conditionality as opposed to unconditional love, and it will never feel good. It keeps you in a bound place. I like that you say, I just can't anymore. I can't give to this, so I'm pulling back to myself and trusting whatever the plan is that the universe has, because that's the way. Now, this is what your twin flame connection is always going to do. The moment that you step out of yourself and you make your divine masculine your focal point, it's going to redirect you back to yourself. Because your relationship with yourself is key, and nobody and nothing should be prioritized over you. You see, when you are full, you overflow, and you naturally add value to the people, to everybody in your life. And you have to understand, we are not separate. So I don't have to give from my cup to you to show you that I care about you, because you and I are one. If I'm filling me, you're getting filled. We have the separation consciousness, and we forget that we are actually all one. And the value that I add to me, and the willingness that I have to show up to my own asking here within me, fills everybody that I love and care about. So your divine masculine comes to teach you this. The moment that you shift your focus, because here your inner being is, here's your inner voice saying, I want to have more fun. And your go-to is, oh, let's ask divine masculine to do something with us, because then that will be fun. You're immediately saying to this voice, you're not enough. We've got to find someone outside of us to make this happen. You immediately disconnect from this to connect to him or her. No wonder they go and they disconnect from you to connect to somebody else, to try and find that connection elsewhere. It is a direct manifestation of what is active with you. So it's only natural that something would happen to redirect you back to self. So this is the best thing that can be happening for you, my dear. Because you're right, the plan that the universe has for you is the best. But here's the thing. You are the universe. It's nobody outside of you's plan. It is your divine plan. So think about what it is that you've been wanting with your divine masculine. Your plan is that you create and establish that which you have been trying to establish with this person outside of you, with self. That is your plan, universe, because you are the universe. And your plan is that you establish that with you. You make you the priority. You make your things count. You find value in what the beautiful life you've created, the beautiful things you've created. Even your divine awakening is you connect to the value that it is in your experience that you've created, regardless of the 3D conditions. And then the match to that comes in. You make it about your relationship with yourself, and you make the things that really matter enough, and then you will be enough for the person that is a match to that. You are the universe. Your deepest desires matter, but stop trying to find them and establish them outside of yourself with someone that you perceive outside of yourself. Establish them here. Allow what other people do and the conditions around other people's behavior to be relevant to your happiness and your joy. And that will be your vantage point, because suddenly everything will yield to what you make a priority, which is your desires. That's your plan. It is your divine plan to be in a place where you are such a match to the value of who you are and what you've created, that the person that you give your time and your energy to does not miss your value and go and look for it elsewhere. Love and light. Thank you so much for this comment and the opportunity for me to respond to it. I hope that this is helpful to you and many, many others. And I will try and do this again in the future when I do have clients sending descriptive comments as I have the time. Love and light. I hope this helps. Comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll chat to you guys next time. Bye now.